What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Ray V. Let's get it.
Sad boy.
Sad boy quote of the day. F ain't for feels, it's for fantasies. So let's get into our deepest fantasies, baby.
I'll give you a third for him, though.
It's Wednesday, y'all, so let's work on your team. Today I'm going through a poor souls team that needs TLC to the max. Sorry, my guy, but it's the truth. It hurts, but I mean well. Let's check it out. Alright, so here we are in my league. Game of inches. I don't think we need the emoji there. But 2026, 10 team. Dynasty PPR. So it's a 2 QB league, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 3 flex, and 8 bench spots. So tiny bench, and we got 4 taxi spots. Small bench. It's a little tough. It's a lot tougher than you think, especially when you need 2 QBs. Probably should increase the bench spots, but it's alright. Lamonco James, the lucky winner. Poor soul today. Draft position number 1 you can see right there, but we'll go over his team. So he had Quinn Ewers, Drake May as his 2 QBs in his starting lineup, DeAndre Swift, Kareem Hunt, Keenan Allen, Wan'Dale Robinson, Mark Andrews, RJ Harvey, Quentin Johnston, and Zach Charbonnet. On his bench he had Mahomes, Tua, Algier, Cedric Tillman, Bourne, Mooney, Booty, and Komet. And on IR he had Ertz, Wentz, and Tank Dell. And you can see here 101, 201, 301, 401, and he got all his picks. So this team is kind of yucky right now. So we'll TLC that up and we'll help him out. First thing I would do automatically, Quinn Ewers buy, Kareem Hunt buy, Keenan Allen you can probably hold him. He's probably going to sign somewhere right before the season starts. Probably going to skip all the camp and everything. So we got 2 guys we can knock out right off the bat. Algier you can probably hold him for a handcuff. Cedric Tillman, I like him, but buy. Kendrick Bourne buy, Booty buy, and Komet buy. And Zach Ertz, even if he resigns, buy. Tank Dell you could probably keep and speculative hold him. I'm pretty sure Carson Wentz is staying with Minnesota. I mean, it says right here Minnesota, but you could probably cut him too, unless they end up trading McCarthy or something, and then Carson Wentz is the direct backup. But now you can drop him. So you cut 8 players, and then you need one more you need a spot for Tank Dell. So you have 7. You have 7 open spots, 4 taxi spots. So let's check out the players on free agency. I don't know how to take the rookies out of here, so we're just gonna skip through them. I'll circle back into the draft, and we'll look at the draft board or something and see what he should do. We got QBs right here. I think QBs are pretty dry. Just the rookies pretty much. Let me double check on my phone because this does not look like the list that I was looking at earlier when I was prepping on my phone. So there's still like Mac Jones on here. You guys know how I feel about Mac Jones, but we have shallow benches, so probably not worth a hold. Winston, Bajan, nothing too crazy after that. So that's pretty much all I see on there. Nothing on QB, so you can tell QB hold is in this league. Even with the tiny little bench that we have, only 8 people on our bench. That's a lot of hoarding. Move on to running backs. Obviously Jeremiah Love, Jadarian Price, but Blake Corum could be a good hold. Rumored to be 1-2 punching. Keaton Mitchell 1-2 punching as well. So Corum and Mitchell are 2 guys that he could just add to his bench and just really strengthen his running back room, because that running back room was a yikes. Braylon Allen too, Sean Tucker and Ray Davis, Hank Bigsby. Hank Bigsby probably one of the better handcuffs, but 8-man bench, so we'll think about it. Like Quinn Allen he could add, obviously all the rookies. There's Brooks, just in case. I don't think Marshawn Lloyd is here. Malik Davis. Oh, Marshawn Lloyd right there. So a few good guys you could just grab, stash them on the bench. Alani, and then obviously all the rookies. Wide receiver Parker Washington, just another league I'm in that Parker Washington is on the waivers. So Parker Washington, Jalen Coker, Jalen Naylor, Shaheed I guess, Flournoy, we like Flournoy, Malik Washington, Pat Bryant. Pat Bryant's getting some talk on him. Vele, power slot, allegedly. Chimere DK, whatever. Tyquan Thornton, I'm seeing he's the 3rd receiver in 3 receiver sets. Don't know if that means much, but that's news is news. Jalen Tolbert has a chance. That wide receiver room is all up for grabs. Looks like that's it for wide receiver. Obviously all the rookies and everything. Jalen Royal is down there, I seen him. And for tight ends, AJ Barner, did pretty well last season. Gunnar Helms on here. Fryermuth, Chig, Kate Auden, second, Dulcich. Let's get Dulcich on your team. Darnell Washington, Cody Parkinson, Dawson Knox, Arroyo, if he starts to overtake AJ Barner, or they start actually giving him the ball in 12 personnel, that could be something. There's a whole lot of stuff on this waiver wire that would really help my guy out. We just pop into this draft room. So 101, obviously, he should just take Jeremiah Love. I really hope he doesn't take Fernando Mendoza, even though, his QBs are a little shaky. I would definitely just take Jeremiah Love. figure out the rest later. Then he's back at 201. So many options there, especially with the way people draft. I'm just looking at ADP. We've only had one rookie draft so far, so I mean, it's a little shaky on how these guys draft, but I'll just look at ADP. I'll just look at current ADP, see if anything was moving a bit. So his projected is Denzel Boston, Eli Stowers, Jonah Coleman, Chris Bell, Bernard, Nick Singleton. Any of those guys would really help him. Honestly, I would probably just, I mean, Stowers is going to be good eventually, but, you know, only 10 people in the league. I feel like tight ends are not valued that much. You can just go Denzel Boston there. You can go running back at Jonah Coleman, get a receiver Chris Bell, Gio Bernard, but we saw the free agency. There's pretty good stuff on there. Maybe trade for some extra fab or something. Just make sure you get all your guys. And then at 301, you know, probably still have Zachariah Branch, Emmett Johnson down there, Antonio Williams, got pushed down all the way over there. Dang. Ted Hurst, obviously, we like Ted Hurst, Katron Allen. All those guys should be there around the 301 for him. And 401, you know, you can just start launching at QB if you want. But me personally would like take them on Claiborne, Oscar Delp, Adam Randall if they fall there. I'm just looking at the ADP and they're all down there, and I don't know how. And I feel like these guys are just going to stay on their ADP projections. I'm not sure if like everybody in this league super knows their rookies. I feel like it was very ADP heavy last time. I can't remember. You always get Kalon Black or something, you know, all the Bryce Lance, CJ Daniels, Jam Miller. Shribling's all the way down here. So, hey, if you can get Shribling at the 4-1, that's what's up. Brandon Thompson. There's a lot of options to work with this team, especially for the draft. Honestly, would just probably just leave my guys alone and stay there, stick and pick with his team. But we can check it out. So I was scouting it a little bit earlier. He really doesn't have anything to send away because, you know, these are his 5 running backs. We start 2 running backs and we have 3 flex. So you get rid of Kareem Hunt, you got Swift and RJ Harvey. RJ Harvey's more of a flex than an RB2. Charbonnet is going to start off slow. Algier just a backup handcuff. Maybe he has some every week like flex value, but I'm not expecting too much, or you just hoping he scores a touchdown whenever you play him. That's tough. But you can totally get away with just Swift and Harvey if you really want. But I don't really see, like, you know, sending away all your picks and trying to compete this year, unfortunately. As much as I love to do that for all these to work on your team Wednesdays so far, I don't really see it with him, unfortunately. I mean, he can get rid of May and get a bunch of, you know, get a stud running back and a stud wide receiver probably, and then still keep his 101 and everything. Maybe he could do something like that. Just keep May. It's okay. So if anything, I'd probably trade away Mahomes. I'd definitely trade away Tua, but trade away Mahomes and get a good wide receiver, good running back. Probably a wide receiver is what I would do. Nice young wide receiver that lasts longer. I know this is Mahomes. I know he's like on a 10-year deal. He just restructured. It's okay. I feel like, you know, he could send away Mahomes and then maybe get Fernando Mendoza or something like that, or, you know, just use a pick next year to get Arch Manning or something and just pair him up with Drake May and then be elite that way, because everything's kind of lacking in here, I'm not gonna lie to you. And Patrick Mahomes is probably like his most valuable asset besides Drake May. Let's just keep Drake May. Let's keep him. And you can see all his receivers here. Nothing but wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, flex type guys. It's kind of tough. Kind of hard to look at, my guy. And then tight ends don't get too much better. Mark Andrews, Zach Ertz, and Cole Kmet. So these guys can go dust. Hopefully Mark Andrews is better this year. He has a game. I'm trading him away. I'm getting all those tight ends that we see on free agency on that waiver wire. I'm doing all that. Sucks, but I don't really see much moves for him to make besides just selling off Tua for sure. Selling off Mahomes if you want to get crazy with it. I mean, you could send off Swift too, just because he's older, but he's gonna have some value for the near time future. And then obviously Mark Andrews is all I could really see. I could try so right here. He could do something like this. This guy only has Goff and Mayfield, so he could do Tua and get like Jordan Addison or something. Maybe he could send his 301 and Tua and get D Higgins. Probably not, but you know, something like that would be nice. Don't love it. I think Tua will start this year, but will he have the whole future? I don't think so. I think his time is closer to done than getting started. So we always do something like that. Doesn't really have a young running back to take back besides Javonte, and I don't think he's going to give Javonte up for just Tua. Would not want to give up like Tua in the 201. If you can give away Tua and take this guy's, I don't know where this guy landed. Take his 209, 309, that'd be perfect too. I think you got to get a little more than a second for 209. You got to get a little more than that. We're selling in the 2s, maybe like 204 probably, I guess. 202, something like that would be ideal. Take what you can get. I mean, he can obviously, the best thing to do would be hold until this guy has a bye week and he really needs somebody. Then you just give him Tua. You know, he's gonna have a QB spot giving him a 0. That's always the best thing to do. Before the draft, at 209, you know, 209, 309 is not the best thing, but if you know what you're doing, I feel like you can get some good pieces. Carson Beck usually falls to the 209, Drew Allar, either of those guys. By the time we do our draft, maybe maybe Sorbsy's there. Maybe Sorbsy's around like a back end second round pick or something. 309, you know, they're all dart throws at the end, but you know, if you know what you're doing, if you're confident in it, I would take those picks. Tua is whatever to me, but you know, the smart thing to do would be just stick, wait till the season, and sell high. Then if he doesn't win the job out, he loses to Penix. I mean, he just loses all value, right? He just goes from he just drops to a zero asset pretty much, right? You could do that. Since this guy is like the only other guy who needs a quarterback, you could always send him Patrick Mahomes. You could take one of his quarterbacks back. I mean, you can give like Tua and Mahomes in a package. You give him Tua and Mahomes and take like Mayfield back or something just to sell him later on, not really to use him this year. You give him Mahomes, you can get Amon-Ra back. You could target like Kincaid or something, but there's good tight ends in free agency, so you don't need to do all that. This is probably not super close enough. Probably need to add a little bit more, maybe your 301 or something. Your 301 would be fine enough. I mean, you get Amon-Ra St. Brown, you get rid of both of these quarterbacks, and you get Baker Mayfield back, something like that. Would not hate it. Close enough for a conversation, at least in my opinion. Not necessarily. That's something of a deal that I could do. Looking at the rest of the league, like everyone has a bunch of quarterbacks, so this guy has what, 6 quarterbacks, maybe 5 if Shador doesn't start. This guy has a billion quarterbacks, but wait, hold up. This guy has hella quarterbacks, but he only has Kyler Murray. He might have Riley Leonard if Daniel Jones isn't ready to start. Aaron Rodgers is already back. Hey, so he has this guy right here. Actually, so he does have this guy to trade with. This guy has the most quarterbacks, but he has one starting quarterback. That's crazy. Let me look at everyone else's quarterbacks real quick. Yeah, 4, 5 right here, 3 right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4 right here, 3, 4 right here, 3, 4 right here, 2, 3. You got 3 right here. Actually, did not see that coming. Give this guy Mahomes or something. Shoot. You definitely give him Tua for sure. Tyron, Achan, Brees Hall, Michael Carter, Alvin Kamara, and I guess Puka, CeeDee Lamb, Debo, Jalen McMillan, Roman Wilson, Keon Coleman, Egbuka, Tesla, and Noel. And he has McBride. You can totally slide him, and Mark Andrews too if he wants a backup tight end. Don't think he will, but you can totally slide him Tua and the 201 for Egbuka. I would not be mad about. That's at least close enough to like have a structure of a deal. You guys could work out the kinks yourself, but I wouldn't be mad at that. This guy literally needs another quarterback. He's holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 quarterbacks, and he has one usable quarterback. So you do something like that. If you want to just offload, you say, hey, take my DeAndre Swift too. Don't really care. Give me Egbuka and I don't want Kyron Williams maybe, but not really. Maybe don't give him DeAndre Swift. That wasn't the best idea. I mean, you can give him like Wandale and then give back. No, none of that works actually. Puka and Lamb probably too much for you to trade up for. Send you Mahomes. You gotta pay up for Mahomes. I don't know where this guy landed in the draft. 108. Made it that far with only one quarterback. 108. Puka. Yeah, Puka's going off. Turn Mahomes into Puka. CeeDee Lamb. Get a little plus on top. Still feel like Mahomes should be over Puka, and CeeDee Lamb should still go in the first round of a startup draft, even with the injury. If he's in the second round, that's a steal for whoever gets him in the second round. So could do a flip like that. Don't love it. Probably just keep Mahomes at that point. So maybe Egbuka. If he had a better first, if he had a higher first in the 108, maybe. I need more than Egbuka. You could pull away like CeeDee Lamb in the 108, and you probably have to add like your third back, maybe even the 201. I wouldn't be too mad. You'd pull like Ty Simpson or something right here and just go full rebuild without doing anything to your team, even adding Jeremiah 11 stuff. You're probably 101 probably 101 again next year. You get Jeremiah Smith. That'd be really nice. That'd be really good for your team. So something like this, like I could see working. Don't love it. I don't really know how to work Mahomes to him without getting something absurd back. I can't really see like trying to work Mahomes to him. I mean, you give him like Mahomes and he can get 108 and 2027 first back, but like we want some proven players in there. Maybe Egbuka 108 and 2027 first, and I still honestly don't think that's enough for Mahomes. You always try to work something like that. Don't love it, but you want to stud it down all the way down. The only other thing, you know, he could trade away Mark Andrews and he could trade away DeAndre Swift. He could honestly trade away all his running back. You know, RJ Harvey, Charbonnet. Just do a complete reset, but I feel like everyone has some decent running backs. So Juden, Bijan, Gibbs, Taylor, McCaffrey, Bucky, Cook, Stevenson, Pollard, Judkins, Rashad White. No, it's a pretty good squad. A lot of running backs. Achan, Dowdle, Gainwell, Scat. Nah, that's pretty good. All right, let's look at tight ends. I mean, he needs a tight end, really. Ferguson Strange is fine. Brock Bowers-Schultz is fine. Yeah, I'm not loving it. Not loving whatever. Not loving all the other trade partners you could work with. Quite unfortunate. Quite unfortunate. But this is a good team to just rebuild. This team, you know, it sucks, but you just got to rebuild another year. I don't know what to tell you. That's literally all you have to do. You'll be totally fine next year, especially if you hit on your draft pick. Not hit, but even if you just take consensus ADP, you should be fine. I'm only saying that because I forget the guy you drafted last year is the guy on the Eagles, and he tore his ACL like right after. I don't even remember his name. Alcantara, something like that. That was in the second round. I don't know why you did that, but I traded him Luther Burden last year too. I don't see Luther Burden on his team anymore, so I don't even want to try to look at what it is because it's probably going to be some head scratching move and going to make you hate your life. But yes, that's pretty much all I would do. It sucks that, you know, this is all the advice and analysis I give them, but it's just, it is what it is. This is what your team is. I mean, at least you got Drake May, you got Mahomes, you know, you have the 101 this year, Jeremiah Love, you know, you got pieces. You got pieces to work with. Probably should just tank another year. Then your core will be Drake May, Mahomes, Jeremiah Love, Jeremiah Smith. That's beautiful. That is a great team. Forgot to flex my jersey today. Got Chase Young when he was on the Commanders. But that was a tough team to go through, right, man? But I hope y'all still like the analysis and my thought process that I had. Sometimes the best thing to do is just chill. Hopefully my guy follows the path I laid out and comes back stronger next season. He and all y'all won't be able to do that though without your daily dose of send that trade. Send it. Send it. That's it for today though. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, rebuilds fade, dynasties reign. Call me a lover boy, simp. Libra, it's more than lovesick. I got a fever, feelings overloading. Not to be a diva, standing 10 toes down. I'm not gonna leave you.